get yourself a physical Bitcoin by following us on Twitter, subscribing to our YouTube channel, hitting that bell, throwing a comment, liking this video. Throw a comment in there just asking for your physical Bitcoin, and we'll send you one for Christmas. Okay, so we have CryptoKitties here, and I wish I could get one of these for Christmas myself, because I honestly probably wouldn't pay for one of these. At least not right now, until I see what's going on, because there's always another day. So the way I look at this is, so CryptoKitties is not having an ICO. They're just selling kitties to raise money. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is CryptoKitties? Well, here's the marketplace. You can buy these digital kitties with Ethereum. Everybody's talking about it today, so you might have heard about it. Some here for 0.3 Ethereum, 0.09 Ethereum for a little virgin bird here, actually. So, from my understanding, how it works is first generation kitties are worth more. Basically, those are the ones right off the block. And some of those have gone for hundreds of thousands of dollars in the past week or so that it's been active. There's been over $1 million in Ethereum spent, and a lot of people are noticing it because it's supposedly clogging up the Ethereum network. Even some ICOs had to delay. So this is their Twitter here. You can see all sorts of different types of cute, cuddly kitties. But this is a very interesting, model. And because it's not really what CryptoKitties is all about, it's what this is the start of. This is digital kitties on the blockchain. So, at this moment, it looks like it's a kitty that's, everyone is different. I don't know how they generate a different, look for each kitty, but probably use some sort of artificial intelligence, right? And matching, different aspects to your code or your wallet or whatever your ID being, it helps them generate a unique kitty for you. So you can also raise kitties, you can breed them, and this is actually how this becomes a profit-making tool, is you breed kitties and then you sell them. You can then rent out kitties, things like that. So on TechCrunch here we have this article. People have been spending over $1 million buying virtual cats on the Ethereum blockchain. Launched a few days ago, CryptoKitties is essentially like a digital version of Pokemon cards, but based on Ethereum blockchain. And like most viral sensations that catch on in the tech world, it's blowing up fast. And this is why it might be worth buying, getting into. If I can get one super cheap like that bird there, I might do that for the novelty. You're not wasting a lot of money, but you're getting in. It could be worth a lot more, because just the sheer fact of what this is. It's basically a new trend, a new sensation in the making. Kind of like Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic the Gathering, Star Trek. People get fanatical about things like this for some reason, and this will be no exception. This will revolutionize things. So I'm not going to say too much more on that, but let me know if you're going to get into it. You'll have to get the Chrome extension MetaMask, and we have that ourselves to use, my Ether wallet. and things like that. But it is very hard. People are trying to get in, and they can't get in because there's just, you know, high gas prices for the transactions. So you're spending, you know, you're spending a lot for transactions just because of the sheer amount of volume of people trying to get through, and you probably won't get through your first couple tries. So it might be worth letting it die off a bit. Like you said, there's always another day. So looking at CoinMarketCap, right? We see an amazing price here with Bitcoin. Like this price here deserves you going, you know, taking the day off work, if that's what you do, popping a bottle of champagne, smoking a doob, whatever you do, go get a hooker, celebrate, because this is amazing, you know. But if you are waiting to sell, you're anxious to sell, you feel like you need some profits, you need to pay some bills, sell some now. Don't wait till it goes down and then you know, be kind of stuck and not want to sell. So you know, sell, then go celebrate if that's what you're gonna do. If you're just holding long term, it's cause for celebration. What else do we have that's cause for celebration? Well, IOTA reaching $4, right? That's pretty good considering where it was like a week ago, $1. You know, 2 weeks ago it was about $1. Litecoin above $100. More cause for celebration. More people will have to be eating mayonnaise, mustard, you know, things like that. If they bet on it going above 101. Maybe it went a little bit higher. It looks like it's even been a little bit higher than 101. So maybe $200. What would you do if Litecoin hit $200? Or what coin would you be the most happy and celebrate the most with if it hit a certain price? And what would that price be? Put a little bit of a challenge out there for yourself. If your coin reaches that price, do something special for yourself. You know, don't eat you know, something disgusting, because you know, maybe if someone's giving you money, but do something nice for yourself. So Bitcoin dominance is actually very astounding, to say the least. It's 58.1%. I don't know when the last time we saw it at that high was. I don't even know if it went that high when people were preparing for the SegWit 2x fork. So why would this be? You know, there's new cryptocurrencies coming out every day. And so you'd think it would be taking some of that money out of Bitcoin, because a lot of the cryptocurrencies in ICO are funded with Bitcoin. But no. Maybe this has something to do with the stocks coming on to, you know, Bitcoin stocks coming on and futures and things like that. I know the 10th is the day we need to watch for the futures to come on. But do you know what this probably is? This is probably banks buying up Bitcoin so that they can, you know, issue stocks. This is you know, probably preparing whoever's issuing these futures, the CME, they're buying up Bitcoin in big amounts because they're probably planning for a huge first day, and they need to have the Bitcoin to be selling, right? It wouldn't make any sense unless they had the Bitcoin to sell people futures of. They won't be actually releasing any Bitcoin to anybody, so you know, they're going to start changing their stances on Bitcoin. A lot of these big players and banks, once they start making money off of it, once they have their toes dipped in the water, you're gonna see a lot of things start to change, and things like that. But I'm just surprised. Bitcoin Cash. Actually, I'm not surprised, but it feels good, to not be defeated, and to be, winning, and Bitcoin staying strong, right? Every time it succeeds, pushes past something, it feels good, because then we have more trust in it. Everybody does. A little known digital currency surges 90% after teaming up with firms like Microsoft, and that is IOTA. Cryptocurrency IOTA is now the fourth largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. Did you know that? IOTA Foundation The IOTA Foundation, a German nonprofit firm that oversees the virtual currency, said last week it has partnered with big tech firms on a data marketplace. And the reason we looked for some news revolving IOTA is because of how much it spiked, and we heard of this this partnership, on comments and things like that. So it makes sense, right? When the price goes up, there's usually some sort of partnership or something that's happened. But IOTA does have, we went over the numbers yesterday, and they do have a huge max supply. So mega IOTA is this measurement, one of the smaller measurements of IOTA, and so $4, $5, even up to $10. That's probably its sweet spot for IOTA, I would say. Just because there's so many, there's not millions, there's billions. So I can't really see it going up in the hundreds or thousands. If it does pass 100, it might be in a couple of years, So just so you know, don't think that this one's going to be like Bitcoin, because there is a measurement of IOTA that does have the same amount as Bitcoin. So you would use that one, and that one's about in the $500 range right now for one of them. I think it's G IOTA, and so it's pretty strong. It's up there with Monero and things like that. IOTA. The price of it, basically. It confuses things because of the measurements of IOTA, but look into our video yesterday, and you'll see a little bit more into that. So what companies did they partner with? They partnered with Microsoft, Samsung. They said that they created a data marketplace, so they announced this, and it reached an all-time high of $5.55. So that was early this morning, right? No, that was 2 days ago. So mainly because of this announcement, and they're saying it's a sleeping giant. And I was buying, some up. I don't have a lot, but I definitely do believe in IOTA and have been buying some. So they're saying data is the new oil. President, CEO of MasterCard at the U.S. Africa Business Forum in 2014. He wasn't wrong. So all these big tech companies are profiting off of data, and that's where IOTA comes in a partnership with more than 20 companies, including Microsoft and Fujitsu. The IOTA network has recently announced the launch of a data marketplace. The marketplace will be powered by distributed ledger technology, and shareholders will be incentivized to securely share their data with IOTA tokens. So it's a way of sharing data. So if you owned a business and you wanted to buy, data, let's say certain people that are into cryptocurrencies, you wanted to, buy that list of names or that list of phone numbers or email addresses. That's data, right? So anything that can be collected on you and then used to profit is where IOTA's marketplace is going to come in and sell that stuff, which, it's out there. The data, you produce it. So if you don't want people to be selling your data, don't create data. That's about, as simple as it becomes. And there are new companies coming out. There's Cricket, if you want a cell phone provider that doesn't keep data on you, so that there's nothing to hack, there's nothing for the government to confiscate, things like that. So then it goes and further explains IOTA. But so they said, we are very excited to announce the launch of our data marketplace. The founder of IOTA said, this will act as a catalyst for a whole new paradigm of research, artificial intelligence, and democratization of data. As well, on the IOTA website, it talks about how IOTA is going to be a currency transacted between artificial intelligence, robots, and machines. So if you get, say you have a robot mow your lawn, you would pay it in IOTA because it doesn't accept cash. Like there's Futurama where the robot accepts cash and he puts it in his stomach. But that's not how it's going to work. We're not going to program, these robots to desire cash. Like, we did a good job programming humans to do that, but I think robots are a little bit smarter than that. So, Monero, $300. It was just $250. Now it's, hit $300. Pretty crazy stuff here. I keep stressing how Monero has been one of my favorite coins and one of my, coins that I've been, faithful in, trusted to have my money in for, almost 2 years. So since it was $7-8, I knew that Monero was going to make me money and not lose me money, which it's very hard to know for sure with a coin like that, that 100% your money's safe in it. I thought, one of these, prematurely I thought OMG was going to be one of these coins, right? And usually they are, you just have to wait a little bit, but I bought, OMG around $7-8, and then it went to $6, and so you can't really say for sure with a lot of these coins what's going to happen. Monero, I knew that because it started being used on the dark web, and as soon as the dark web started accepting it next to Bitcoin as payment, now it has a use, and the only place for it to go is up. More miners need to mine it for it to be used, and the demand, supply, when there's a more demand, the coin goes up. It's that simple. Cryptocurrency Monero to be accepted by 45 musicians such as Mariah Carey, G-Eazy, Sia for holidays. So this is why Monero all of a sudden is, reaching those plateaus that it's been ready to reach for a long time. It just needed a catalyst to take it there, and this catalyst was built by a fan of Monero. So someone that took on this project to basically build a marketplace for musicians to sell their their music for Monero, right? So it's currently the 9th largest cryptocurrency with a market cap of 3.5 billion, and it will, grow from there for sure. Why is Monero so, why is it the right choice? Well, Monero really is what Bitcoin could be. It's Bitcoin, and then we noticed the flaws in some areas in Bitcoin that needed fixed, and Monero addresses those very well and fixes them. So it's a privacy coin that is basically Bitcoin but private, because Bitcoin, we all know, it's not private anymore. You have to attach your ID to exchanges. You have to, if you're sending over $20,000, you have to be reported. We see all these, court cases with exchanges and governments, and basically the NSA is tracking it. It's billions of dollars in market value that they're going to be losing in taxes if they don't keep track of Bitcoin, right? So, if Monero maybe gets up to that one day, it might be worth tracking, and I'm sure it will be. They'll try to track it more in the future, but Monero actually has no block size limits, so it has no reason to be forked in the future, other than maybe it not being private enough. But at the moment right now, it's the most private coin you can have. It's the coin people use to wash their coins. Your coin cannot go down in value because of it being attached to dirty transactions, and this article here speaks of it very well. So reasons why Monero is the next big thing, and this was written a little bit ago, but still relevant. So privacy and anonymity, right? So every transaction, every Monero you get is basically a new Monero. It has no previous transactions attached to it. So, when money is dirty, when cash is dirty, you have to pay like 30%, even more sometimes, to wash that and to launder it and to make it clean money. And that's not easy to do. With Monero, there isn't that problem, right? So privacy and anonymity, fungibility, and that's what I just spoke about, right? Your Monero will always have the same value as any other Monero. Scalability, what I talked about, the block sizes, there's no block size hard coded, which means there's no scalability problem. It will adapt over time automatically as necessary. True decentralization, thanks to ASIC resistant CryptoNight proof of work algorithm, Monero is still being mined on GPUs or even CPUs. So, it's not controlled by a small number of ASIC farms like Bitcoin. Development, Monero currently has 7 core developers and over 200 contributors. So it's a huge community project, and yeah, the next one's community. Monero has a well-established cryptocurrency. It has a good community. It's been released since 2014. It's not just a random easy pump and dump coin. So it has a big market cap as well, right? Price chart analysis. So this is just him going into the price chart analysis, but I think you can, use a lot of what Bitcoin does to analyze what Monero is going to do as well. So it's probably, easy to predict in that sense. Where a lot of other coins, they move all over the place and do some weird things on the charts, and especially lower market cap coins. EOS. EOS has been doing very well for past few weeks here, and now reaching around $5 here, You know, it was neck and neck with IOTA, um, and then IOTA was doing better, and then EOS was doing better, and it's surprising to see them almost neck and neck again. You know, it's interesting when you see that happen with coins. You're like, oh yeah, I remember when they were, you know, they're like a pair. I look at EOS and IOTA as a pair. They were also on Bitfinex. They were kind of issued at around the same time, you know, and so I've always looked at them as like two of the same coin, you know. They were around the same price as well, so they just released EOS.io Dawn 2.0 released development update. They have P2P network code, WASM sanitation, GPU, CPU sandboxing, resource usage tracking, Genesis import testing, inter-blockchain communication. Speaking of blockchain, forgot to mention that IOTA, if some of you don't know, which you probably all do, it's on the Tangle network, not a blockchain. So it's kind of the first one to be on this new Tangle, you know, experimental network. And if it does well, you definitely want to be holding some IOTA because it's one of a kind in that sense. You know, you don't have to, you know, pick one. You know, should I buy this one or this one? With all the other, you know, Ethereum coins, you don't know which one is actually going to succeed. But with this one, you only have one, so you know if Tangle succeeds, and it seems like the next, you know, generation of blockchain, then you're definitely going to want to hold some. Total supply of EOS is also kind of near IOTA in a sense. It's in the billions, but it's less than half of IOTA's total supply. So their market cap being 2 billion, which is also a bit less than IOTA, right? So it's interesting to see them at the same price, meaning basically that EOS is worth less because there's less of them. Does that make sense? So since there's less of them, you know, they should be worth twice as much if they were the same value as IOTA. But since they're worth the same, they're worth, you know, about half as much as IOTA. For total market cap will probably give us that same basic number, about half probably, right? Where did it go? IOTA. I closed it. But it's got a 10 billion market cap. It's almost got 3 billion IOTA. So if you look at that, 3 billion, and then EOS has, you know, 2.5 billion. So it almost makes sense. Let's look at the just want to compare the charts here, but computer's not cooperating. I ask a lot of this computer sometimes, and I'm thinking I need to get a Mac here pretty soon. So hopefully hopefully I can make some some extra money on some ICOs because I really don't have any extra Bitcoin, you know, to be selling. I have some gold I can sell. It's funny, I was just listening to the Leak Project, and they were talking about Bitcoin, and his guest on there was doing tarot cards, and they were doing tarot cards on whether Bitcoin was going to succeed or not. Pretty interesting. It's really random because I just happened to be watching it, and like, whoa. There were obviously the Leak Project's trying to sell gold and silver. It's one of his affiliate, you know, programs to sell gold and silver, but I like how he didn't, you know, tell you one way or another what to do. You know, but you know, the tarot cards that were pulled, if you're interested, were some sort of fighting, battling, and then some sort of death card, which basically means, you know, like, it's just another vice I kind of got from it. So for me, what it meant was, you know, you can get lost in it. You know, it's money, just like you know, paper money. You can get very greedy over it, egotistical over it, and you don't want to get lost in the money aspect of it. So there's lots of amazing, you know, ways you can use blockchain, but don't necessarily, you know, sell your soul for it and, you know, get so distracted in that you're not focusing on what you need to do and growing, you know, spiritually or whatever you feel you need to grow with. And last coin here, Yowyow, since we can't get those other tabs working. So Yowyow has been, you know, dominating as well, and it's on Bitfinex now. Let's see here what else it's on. By the way, IOTA, you can most of its volume is on Bitfinex. So if it wasn't on Bitfinex IOTA, you know, maybe it wouldn't be where it is today, but it would maybe be a little bit slower on that. So they made a good choice getting it on Bitfinex. Again, here, Yoyo's on Bitfinex, EOS is on Bitfinex, so it might be worth getting that exchange if you don't already have it. You just don't put a lot of money over there, and you know, it's only ideal for those coins that you can't get anywhere else, right? Binance, OpenLedger, hit BTC for Yowyow. So Yowyow crowd sale completed within 3 days and raised about 2,000 Bitcoin. So they didn't raise a lot, which is good. You know, they didn't give themselves a huge market analysis and valuation. So a graphene-based DAC for user-generated content, and this is actually a post from them here, I think. But the real interesting stuff comes in their white paper, obviously, right here, where you can read how it works. And I thought I had it, you know, a good paragraph here. So basically, yeah, in the past few years, active users, quality content producers, and spreaders bought massive traffic and huge profits to social networks. Example: Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Weibo, Zhihu, and user-generated content (UGC) platforms. You know, Steemit, YouTube. However, these users never have absolute control over content created by themselves, and neither do they amply enjoy the generated profits and advantages. So they're trying to basically have people get rewarded, you know, for almost every view they get, or they're trying to make it so, you know, everything you do on social media you're rewarded for. Kind of like Steemit, you know, .com, and some other, you know, reward-based platforms. But yeah, their website is where it explained it a lot better. White papers are, you know, not a good way to just, you know, summarize it. It's too technical. Yowyow named from you own your own words. So basically, yes, they're trying to get you to have ownership and be able to monetize everything you say. It's a blockchain-based network aiming to qualify contribution and giving rewards to participants in the content producing sector with decentralized consensus methods. So content producers, content investors, curators, and consumers of the content ecosystem can be provided with incentives and returns as appropriate. You know, everyone should be getting rewarded. You know, if the person viewing is helping someone earn ad dollars, why is the viewer not getting money? You know, this whole type of idea. You know, a lot of these ideas we wish were solved years ago, and they're being solved now. Active users, premium content providers, and spreaders bring massive traffic and billions of dollars of profits to social media platforms, right? And background, what does it say? The problem, I swear. It said what the problem was. So, users don't, this is the problem here. Users don't own the content they produced, neither the control nor the profit. Yowyow, remember, you own your own words, takes advantage of blockchain technology to build a transparent and highly effective evaluating system. Furthermore, Yowyow fairly quantify the contribution of users and pay them by money and shares. Additionally, by giving users the rights to control, management, and dividends. So, if that makes any sense to you, they're going to have a rating system. Content producers, content investors, curators, builders, content ecosystem will be rewarded according to the Yowyow eco environment and users' rating of content. You know, so, you know, kind of like a curated, the more you're rated, the more you're getting paid. And they're a Chinese coin here, you can see. So I personally, it's up to you whether you invest in these ones. I always want to say off first instinct, I don't want to invest in them, but then I think about the money that could be made, and honestly, imagine right now if you had, you know, investments in some of those social media platforms over in China that are succeeding right now, you know, and you can now. So if that's something you're interested in, and then definitely Yowyow is probably one of the better ones, in my opinion. But I can't tell you what to do. Either way, you have to make your own choices and do your own research. I'm just showing you what's out there. Also, we have the CryptoKitty white paper, if you want to read that, in the description down below. So that's probably it for today. We'll have to catch you on the next video. We'll see you later.